All right, so in this section, we are here in downtown LA, and I've got a couple here to shoot with, and we're gonna do some couple portraits around the area. And as I'm walking around, I'm gonna let you know kind of what I'm thinking about and what I'm doing. So let's get it. All right, so for this first one, I'm just having you guys get comfortable being around each other shooting. So, I'll have them just grab her first. There you go, right there, and then yeah. So and then have you drop your right arm down just a little bit, kind of like just on his shoulder, probably. There you go. And then your other hand can just be right around his head, or the back of his neck right there. There you go. And then I'm gonna have you guys foreheads real close. And here you don't have to look at each other, because generally when you're hanging out like this, you're not really looking at each other, so you don't have to. I'm gonna have you just hang out right there, and I'm gonna switch my lens real quick. So I'm switching to my 51.0 just to get a little bit, this is my lens for like more compression, tighter focal length type thing. All right, so we're gonna have you guys get close one more time. There you go. Right there, perfect. And what I'm gonna have you guys do is just almost kiss, but not quite. There you go, right there. And then, Reggie, I'm gonna have you turn your nose toward me just a little bit. There you go. And then I'm gonna have you, just right here, I'm gonna have you just have your hand just around her waist, almost same position, but just looking just straight at me right over here. Perfect. And then you can tuck it, yeah, there you go. Awesome. And that's a shot that I recommend everybody get every time, just because you're shooting a wedding, a couple session, or whatever, the grandma, aunt, uncle, somebody's gonna want that photo, even if you're trying to go for full art, epic stuff. So I always make sure to get one of those shots up. So I'm gonna switch to my 16 1.4, see if I can get some like epic architectural shots. So we'll see how that looks. So what I have you guys do is come just right over here. Actually, I have you just stand just right on this yellow part right here. And then let's see. So what I have you do, Bree, is face this way. And then Fern, you're gonna kind of just like grab around the top, just on the top. So if you hold on the bottom, that's usually like maternity photo. Yeah. So you don't wanna do that, right? So we're gonna go on the top. So hold her on the top, and then Bree, you're kind of just gonna play right there, huddle up, yep. And then I have you rotate toward the sun just a little bit. And then you're gonna be kind of like looking back, kind of like flirty. There you go, right there, that's perfect right there. All right, so I'm gonna kind of wait for, I'm gonna meet her off you guys first. Perfect. Awesome. And then right now I'm switching to Fujifilm like bracket burst mode. That helps me, especially in a high pressure situation like this where I need to nail the dynamic range. I use that to burst off 7 shots, different exposures, so I can get the shot and come back and figure out what's the best one later. All right, so. All right, so I'm gonna do that one more time. Yeah, there you go. Cool. And I have you guys hold it right there. This is actually really great lighting, so I'm gonna switch over to my other lens real quick. The same thing right there. I'm gonna have you do that. Kind of look back. And Fern, what I'm gonna have you do is think about, do you guys watch any shows, or what do you like to do for fun when you're not?
Everything.
Everything?
Hang out.
Go to the beach, hang out.
You guys like to eat out, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Fern, I want you to think of her favorite, whatever her favorite dessert is. Don't say it yet. Whatever her favorite dessert is, and I'm gonna have you get in position, kind of cuddle in. Bree, look over that way, and I want you to whisper right into her ear what, hold on right quick. What her favorite dessert is in like the sexiest voice you can have. Don't worry, you don't have to keep a straight face, all right? All right, go ahead. have you look back at it one more time? There you go. And then Fern, have you kind of cuddle up a little bit higher over her upper arms. There you go. There you go, right there. Cool. All right. Also for this, when you're using the 51.0, you have to most likely use the mechanical plus electronic shutter because I don't like using an ND on this because I have to take it on and off. So the electronic shutter on Fujifilm comes in pretty clutch for those type of shots. So I'm switching just to get a variation of the shot because I usually, whenever I shoot, I do one tighter focal length and then one wider just to cover my bases because usually with every single pose I can do 2 shots. Usually I compose everything so it's pretty clean so I can switch back and forth without having to adjust too much. So I'm at a wide angle. Let's see. All right, so I'm actually gonna have you guys go all the way down there.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go all the way far back here. Cool. So for this one, you guys don't have to, I know you like micro change the pose. This one you can just stay kind of just pretty much locked in. What it's gonna be is like almost like a full body silhouette. So what it feels weird as far as like carrying your body, but basically like Fern, you're gonna stand kind of like separate a little bit so you can have just a little bit of light popping through. Okay. And then Bree, yeah, you can, and then just kind of like pop your hip out. There you go. And then you're basically going to, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna face you the other way. So you're, and then Fern, you're gonna be facing straight toward me. There you go. And then I'm gonna actually have you guys separate. So you're just gonna be standing on your own. And then, let's see, turn your shoulders toward me, there you go. And then your other leg kind of just like that. So it's separate, there you go. Then what you're gonna do is kind of look over your right shoulder just right at him. And then you're gonna have a little bit of gap in between your chin and your shoulder. And then Fern, you're gonna turn shoulder straight toward me. And then just kind of like figure out one part to put your, there you go. And I'm gonna pop out your elbow just a little bit so there's gonna be some light popping through here. And then here, Bree, you can, whenever you want to, just play with your hair, but I just want you looking straight that way. And then Fern, you're gonna be looking across toward her. There you go. So this is, if I calculate it right, this is gonna be like a nice, what I call like a hero silhouette. So like very small people silhouetted with their posture. Let's see, hold on, let me fix one thing. All right, when you fix your hair, can you pop out your elbow a little bit further? Okay. Yeah, however it feels like you feel like it feels good, but just so that there's light coming out. So then when you're going like that, so you can kind of drop it down as you go. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, just okay.
Yeah. And then you're looking right over the shoulder right there. There you go. Let's see. I'm gonna have you guys face both this way. There you go. And then just pull her up real close, right there. Awesome. There you go, right there. And you're gonna be kind of looking off this way, and then you're nuzzling just right on the side right here. Nose toward me just a little bit though. Oh, okay. Yeah. Face toward her, and then right into the side of her head right there. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. And here you guys can actually just be talking to each other. I want you guys to recite the first time you guys ever saw each other or met each other, one sentence at a time. So, and then I'm gonna have you still in the same pose though. So while you're talking, be in that same pose that I just had you. So looking this way, right there. Awesome. And you guys talk to each other, perfect. And then a lot of people have questions about like how I autofocus. I'm always in autofocus single, and I just put that little box just on usually whoever is, just somebody's eye, whoever's closest to me. And that will allow me to shoot like shallow depth of field without it looking like it's out of focus. And then I'm gonna have you hold her, hugging her from behind again. There you go. There you go. Awesome. Rotate just a little bit. Awesome. And then remember, just around the top. There you go. Cuddle around the upper arms. There you go. And then you can, there you go. See? And then for an arm, you stand straight up, and then Bree, you can scoot kind of more back into him, and then kind of pop out when there you go. See? And you guys are just kind of like looking back at him right there. There you go. And have you go one more. So I want to use the texture of this like entire building. I'll see how this lighting looks on the other side, but there's two types of ideas that I want to do. One is just a clean one with just the texture and the couple just right in the front, like small couple, big area. And because there's cars coming through, there's this one shot that I try to do where I make it look like there's perfectly motion blurred cars on each side. We'll see if we can pull it off, but that one usually comes out pretty cool too. So I'll have you guys pretty much, just so you're in the middle of these like grass hump things. Actually, trying to figure out what the exact, I may have to adjust you. Okay. So I'm gonna basically have you guys face toward each other. And for right now, just have it so that this line is in between your guys' feet. And it's very simple, you're just basically just holding each other right there. And then I'm gonna go on the other side. If I need to adjust you back and forth, I will like shift one way or the other. Can I have you guys get closer together now? This way. There you go. So here I'm just making sure everything is level and that they're centered. Like, seems pretty obvious to do, but a lot of people don't take care to make their photos leveled and centered, and apparently that's like my claim to fame, is making it leveled and centered, and people don't notice. So if you can take care of your lines, it makes the photo a lot more well put together, so to speak. All right, so I got that wide shot, and what I'm gonna do now is try to do that kind of like motion blur shot.
Yep.
So the secret behind this shot is everyone thinks that I have impeccable timing. That's not the case. So what you do is you put it in high frame rate, and then you just shoot through a burst of traffic. And what you're hoping to get is, you need to slow down the shutter speed to like 1/30 or 1/20, something around there. What you're hoping to get is one car on one side, one car on the other side, hopefully different cars. And then you can Photoshop it together and it looks like you had perfect timing. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna lay my camera just on the ground here so it's level, and wait. This is 1/25. And the key here is basically if you have one car on one side and you can Photoshop with another, like this cool bus on the other side, or I could even have it so that the bus is on both sides. So that's on one side, and then say this other car's on that side. It looks like I got it perfectly, which it's not perfect, but the client doesn't know that. Yeah. All right. But it's something that everybody can do without having to practice impeccable timing. It's just preparing and getting all the layers that you need for that photo later on. All right, so we just finished up. We said goodbye to the couple, and basically I just want to let you know, as far as these shoots go, I really try to maximize how many shots I get from one location. So we try to walk around the block, get as many closer ups, wide angles, environmental portraits, try to mix it up, also mix up the different lighting conditions. That's how you're able to get a lot of variations within a smaller kind of vicinity. We woke up pretty early. I woke up at like 4:30 a.m. this morning to drive over here so that we can shoot at 7 a.m. because that is when the light is directional, which means it's very low and you're able to kind of use your hand to figure out where the lighting is coming from as opposed to coming from the top where you get the little raccoon eye shadows. And also in a downtown area like this, it's actually a weekday, so there's working time and all that stuff. There's not a lot of people. So you get to kind of let the couple get comfortable without too much crowds and also get nice light at the same time. So pays off to wake up early. I use the app called Sun Surveyor to kind of figure out where the best time would be. Yeah, and now I'm excited to kind of go through all the photos and see which ones I like and show you how I edit them.